Hey listeners, so I wanted to make a video about my unpopular opinions like right now because this video inspired me with some of my opinions on what I want to say. Now, not a lot of them are going to be college related. Some of them are just going to be in general stance, but there are like a few that are college related. So yeah, but I'm not gonna make the whole video about that. But yes, this person inspired me to start to make this video. So yes, follow her if you can, please. Please and thank you. Alright, let's get on with the video. Unpopular opinion number 1. I don't think anyone should be forced to live with strangers, and I definitely don't think that anyone should have to pay extra to just not live with another person. Like, I'm just gotta say this one thing for sure. Like, of course there are gonna be people who want to live with their roommates who they are friends with, yes, I'm sure, but there are some colleges I know out there who, like, for freshmen, they make it to where you have to live with another person, whether you know them or not, and they make it to where you have to live on campus. You can't get off campus. You can't live in an apartment that's just across the street from campus to where you could just walk to class. No, you can't do that. You have to live on campus, and you have to live in certain dormitories so that fit for on-campus people, because there are other parts where you don't have to, right? I hate that shit. It's basically designed for you to be living with another person. You know, it's designed to force you to do that shit. And it sucks because I'm over here just thinking, like, some of us literally have lived in families all of our lives with other people, like never having a room to ourselves. So now we got to live with a person we don't even know. And if we don't, we have to pay double the amount when housing's already fucking expensive. No, that's stupid. I just think that's stupid as fuck. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not. It's my opinion though, so yeah, let's go. Unpopular opinion number 2. When it comes to a list of things that we cannot live without, it could be your top 10, your top 5, it could be your top 100. I severely doubt that phones should be on the list. Like, I seriously think that they should not be on the list of things you cannot live without. I think, actually, when it comes to any electronic, it should not be on the list of things that you cannot live without. Let me explain. I legit think that there are more important things that we needed and required before the electronics went out of sorts. Like, they blew up in popularity. It was insane, right? When I tell you that a lot of us grew up with no electronics, there's some people, it surprised me, but there were people in fucking middle school when we were all getting our phones. There were people being like, yeah, I don't even have a TV at home. And I was just like, huh? I was shocked. I don't know why I was shocked. I didn't even have a phone. I only had a tablet, but then that's more than some people got. This dude didn't have a phone. He didn't have a tablet. He didn't have a computer. He didn't have a TV, like, at all. He was insanely smart, though. He was very logical, too. But he didn't have any of these things. And I was just like, yeah, that was when I think the year of the electronics was popping as well, too. Like, getting even more out of the sorts. I think that was around 2014, 15. Ooh, my math is wrong, but yeah, I don't think it should be on the list of things you cannot live without. Like, you mean to tell me it's on the same list as water? Electronics is on the same list as water. I'm like, you mean to tell me that top 10 things you can't live without? It's on the same list as water. Like, I just can't. Because obviously you can't live without water or food, of course, like that. But, you mean to tell me it's on the same list as, like, soap or lotion? Shit, I take shoes over the damn electronics and shit. Like, come on now. Like, a sketchbook, pencils, something. Like, what? I can't. I understand why some people put it on their list, but I don't think it should be on that list at all. But anyway, moving on to unpopular opinion number 3. Unpopular opinion number 3. I believe that abortion becoming illegal in certain states and probably all around was bound to happen. Like, there was a lot of foreshadowing, at least for me, when growing up, because out of nowhere, I would be in class, and then there would suddenly be a talk of abortion. And I'd be like, what does this have to do with anything? We're in history, so I kind of understand where it's just like, with history, certain political things, and like alluding to the president, some of the government law and whatnot. I can understand that. But in math class, Why in math class? Why are we randomly talking about abortion in math class, right? And it would never be like a consistently part of the conversation. It would never be like a consistent part of whatever message or conversation we were having. It would just be out of nowhere. And I'd be like, dude, I'm just existing and we're just talking about killing babies in a womb. Like, what are you doing, bro? So for it to just become illegal, it feels for me out of nowhere. And I was just like, you know what, that shouldn't be surprising because all the talks of abortion beforehand, many years prior, were out of nowhere. So it should have, it was bound to happen. It just feels like it was bound to happen, you know. That leads me on to my unpopular opinion number 4. Unpopular opinion, I think number 4, where I think it's weird that there are people who can basically reconstruct their entire bodies, get bigger asses, you know, remove their, like, you know, certain parts of their body. They could basically, if you put enough money, they could become a whole nother person. Real life mystiques out here, and yet it's suddenly horrible, like, you know, when it comes to like abortion. Like, I think that honestly we should just let people do what they want because it affects them. When someone aborts their kid, it's affecting them. That's a mental strain on them and the people around them. It affects them, you know. Of course, you know, it affects the population as well too, but I honestly doubt that population is going to decrease that much. You know, society, you know, humanity and stuff like that. Over the centuries, humanity has, like, I don't know if they doubled in the sheer number of them, but we are more than what we used to be a few centuries ago. Like, we're 7 billion. I don't think we used to be 7. I think we used to be 4 billion, right? And over the course of the years, we grew to 7 billion. Like, you know, we spend plenty of time repopulating the earth and stuff like that. I don't know how high abortion rates are to where it should become illegal in certain areas, but what sucks about this is that people will just probably try to move to another state. If it's illegal in one state and it's not illegal in another, people will probably just try to move to another state to abort their baby. Like, you know, it's kind of like, it's weird to say it is pointless. They obviously made it illegal for a reason. However, I think that, you know, certain other things should have more focus on them than like the abortion talk. This is the type of thing I expected in like other areas of the world where it was actually even bigger of a deal. Like, you know, I remember growing up and they were talking about a certain country. I'm not gonna say specifically China because I don't actually remember or know. But it was where, you know, there was just too many people in that country to where they had to limit the amount of kids in the household. Like, some families had to hide their kid because the government would come to their house and literally try to check and see how many kids they have in it. And I was just thinking, like, wouldn't this conversation go up in countries like that? But of course, in certain countries, they don't have that much of freedom of speech or freedom of speech at all in their countries like we do in America, and in other democracy countries and stuff like that. However, it's like you would expect something like that there, like not here in the USA. Like, I did not expect that at all. Just like I never expected the abortion talks, but they were all foreshadowing for this moment. But yeah, I just feel like, shouldn't it be harder to like become another person, like get so much surgeries where you can become a whole different person, like literally look nothing like how you were born as? Shouldn't it be harder to do that than this? You know, because I feel like there's more danger in having enough money to just constantly reconstruct your body to look like something else. You know, isn't that more danger? Like, and the fact that you can change your name to legally, it's a long process, yeah, sure, but it's the fact that you can do all that shit and it's probably become easier once you like get used to doing it. Like, I feel like there are some things that are more dangerous like than this. So I don't know. That was just, I don't know. I just don't know. Also leading to my next unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion number 5. When the talk of vaccination came and when the vaccine actually came, I did think that they chose to talk about vaccines more than talking about actually staying clean and healthy and stuff like that. Like, I know during the pandemic, they were all about, hey, wash your hands after this. Don't be touching people or touching things in like stores or just around your areas unnecessarily. Like, keep your hands to yourself, all that, stay a distance away to stay clean and not get sick at all, right? It feels like when the vaccine came, they threw that shit out the window. Like, they quite literally said, oh, fuck no, we have the vaccine now. We don't have to do all that shit. And they either completely ignored it or they just basically chose, like, it was intentional not to talk about staying clean. Because once the vaccine came and going back to school, the sheer amount of people we're on the bathroom together, right, and stuff like that. I finished peeing, I still hear peeing, and I know there's only like one other person in there. And sorry, this may be like TMI and whatnot. I still hear one other person in there, and I know only there's two people in there, including myself, like me and them. And they're peeing, and I get out, I wash my hands. Why is it that I see you speed walking in the damn mirror? And this is after, when we first come back to fucking school, it's like the moment the vaccine comes. Oh yeah, listen, just go back to being nasty as fuck, okay? Let's go back to basically peeing, wiping down there at least once or twice, and then never washing our fucking hands again. And then speed walking past so that a person doesn't recognize your face for you being nasty as fuck. Like, I can't. I literally can't. I was just like, it's like, no, it's not just an okay to be nasty as fuck again. Like, we should also be pushing still staying clean. In fact, I think we should be pushing that more than the vaccine. Or we should have. I say we should. We should have, goddammit. Like, push that more than the goddamn vaccine. Because when I tell you whole conversations of it came out, it was annoying. Like, it was actually annoying to me. It was annoying before and after I got it. Like, it was annoying. Like, I was just like, I'm sick of hearing this shit. Like, this is the English. We're in English class. Come on, man. This is an essay class, and we're not even doing any essays on health-related shit. Are you kidding me? I was just like, and it's early in the morning, too. I don't want to talk about this shit. Like, I just don't. So it was just like, on that type of shit. Of course, you can have freedom of speech when it comes to certain things. Of course, however, a lot of these conversations I'm talking about now that are on a more political and health-related stance, I talk about them because a lot of the health-related things, they would come up in classes that had nothing to do with health. And I would just be flabbergasted and literally fucking annoyed. Not because, like, oh, we can't talk about health any other time. It's just that they never were leading, like, they were never from a conversation that was already talking about something that was kind of health related or something that was along like political stance. No, they were just out of nowhere. And I was like, I love random conversations. Don't get me wrong, baby. But I don't love it to where you are talking and it's like you're talking like you're ready to argue with fucking anybody. Like, I hate that type of shit. Like, you're talking like you just genuinely don't want to have a conversation. You're talking like you're ready to call somebody stupid the moment they say their opinion. And it's like, I don't like that shit. Like, who are you ready to fight with? Damn, it's 9:15 in the morning, bro. Like, come on now. Oh my gosh, I can't. Unpopular opinion, I think number 6. I feel like school lunches are nasty on purpose so that we could crave the unhealthy ass snacks and chips and whatnot so that we can go to the vending machine and buy more. And I'm talking specifically at public schools, since a lot of times, like, you already pay for your school lunches and whatnot, some meal plans and whatnot, but of course, since they're public schools, they probably want more money than that. So I just feel as though it's just designed to be gross. Like, I don't know why. I know that you're having to make all this food for kids like every single day. You gotta prep and all that shit like that, but when I tell you, after the pandemic time, right, they had a lot of prepackaged lunches, of course, like that, and somehow it was worse than regular school lunches, like talking with. Like, there was some molded ass food. I was just like, oh shit. And then even now they don't do the same, like where it was like the to-go plate type of white plate trays and whatnot, but it still looks gross, and it looks like they just hate the kids. Like, they just don't care. They don't care at all. Like, Also, is it just me? But every time I drink that carton of milk, it tastes like chemicals. Like, it should not taste like how paint smells. Like, that's how it was for me. And I know I'm being probably overcritical of it, but that's just coming off from me, who has eaten school lunch before and has various times gotten sick off of it. So, this is fucking personal. Not kidding. I'm fucking with you. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's unpopular opinion or not. Like, I feel as though it is. I feel as though it is. But anyways, moving on. Unpopular opinion number 7, I believe. I feel like the topic of transphobia, homophobia, and just all around phobia against the LGBT community in the black community is not talked upon much at all. And I feel like it should be. I'm getting really sick of seeing people part of my community getting way too comfortable insulting transgender people or just gay people all around. Hell, I already don't like seeing it in my own family, so seeing it more and more within my own community it's just, it's really uncomfortable. Like, that's the thing, it's really fucking uncomfortable. And I think it really should should be more conversations on it, more people coming out and mentioning their experiences with it, because I know it's not just the black community. I'm very much aware it is not, it's all around. However, I didn't realize how much of it was in the black community until growing up more and seeing it and getting tired of seeing it. So it's like, that's why I'm making this opinion. This is probably gonna be a controversial video, but I don't care. Like, I just, who gives a fuck besides me? So it's like, yeah, scratch that. I'm aware there are a lot of people who give a fuck about this. So if you do have your own opinions of things, comment down, please, because I would love to have a conversation with you about some of these. Anyway, let's continue on with the next opinion. I think opinion number 8. I'm gonna try to reach to like 10 unpopular opinions. I don't know if I will or not. Thinking of something now. Unpopular opinion number 8. I think we should go back to giving like our kids their phone or tablets at the age of 13. Like, you know, I don't know if that's like, oh, 13 was just the general age for me. I thought it was to give the kid their first phone, and I don't think it should be a touch phone. I honestly think it should be either a flip phone or, is it called Nokia? Hold on, let me look it up. I would say it's a Nokia phone, but some of these are touchscreens, so it was like, I don't know. But what I'm talking about is this, or even this will suffice, these kind of phones and stuff like that, you know. That's just my unpopular opinion. I think that kids should go back to that, you know, mainly because of the rising of social media additions, like people who like are adding to their accounts to social media accounts and stuff like that. People who are going on those apps, downloading it on their newfound phones and whatnot. And no, I'm not just talking about TikTok. TikTok is just one of the many apps where there's a lot of kids on it, you know. And that is the thing, is maybe that should lead on to my next opinion of social media, or should I just include it in here? Nah, I don't even want it. Nah, I don't feel like saying that. Like, do I feel like saying? I don't know. My mind is just going in and out with certain things. However, yes, I do believe that kids should get their phones around 13, basically middle school age, or around high school. Like, you know, that I think we should go back to doing that shit, because there's too many big and bold kids. Like, you know, that's why the new generation now is like, they got worse. Like, I don't like to say the generations at all, because, well, one, I've already had my fair share of comments who like to lump one person, me, into a whole generation of now. But I'm gonna just say, like, you know, kids these days, like, you know, kids around 2006 to now, like, I guess, no, that's way too, I don't know, just the ones like younger than 15, I gotta say. The ones younger than 15. Let me just put that like that. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but going back to some of my teachers who were genuinely the sweetest people, the kindest of people, right? Back in middle school, right? Who were kind still until I hit 11th grade. Like, I tell you, I visit them, I would see them, like, you know, I would talk to them a few times. They still be very kind and sweet. Even when I would see them with their class, they would not have the expression of like meanness. Like, you know, they wouldn't look like they're angry all the time. And it's not until I got into like 11th grade and 12th grade of my high school year, you already know what that is. I would see how their expression changed. Like they genuinely looked unhappy. And I know I'm not gonna just completely blame it on the kids, the people of this generation nowadays. I'm not gonna completely blame it on them. They may just get tired of teaching you and whatnot. However, to see them barking at kids and to see kids flipping them off as they turn around, to see kids basically be on the verge of cursing the teacher out to their face, you know. I know there'd be some kids in my generation who, when they were threatened with the possibility of their parents being called, they would try to act cool, and then the moment their parents are called on, and they would like call them on the phone and whatnot, or they would talk to them, they would be crumbling that facade down. Nowadays, you call the kid's parents, neither the kid nor the parent gives a shit, and it's just like, that's not good. Like that's not good. And this is not like oh, kids should just be afraid of their parents. No, it's that kids should respect their parents enough to like not want their parents to be bothered while their parents are at work providing for them. You know, just be, the kids should be bothered that they're bothering their fucking parents enough to like where they need their parents called on them. Like, you know? So yeah, that's just my unpopular opinion of it. That was a whole section. I am sorry. Anyway, next to my unpopular opinion, I think unpopular opinion number 9. I think. Unpopular opinion number 9. I feel as though when you go outside to a certain event where you're like around a bunch of people and you start slightly sweating, whether it's underneath your armpits or even slightly on your back, or even heavily, like slightly or heavily on your back, and when you're in just the different places all around, I think when you get back home, you should take a shower. Not immediately, like, you know, it could be a few hours, but no matter what, during that day, I think you should take a shower. Now, the reason why I have this opinion is just, you know, it's the idea of just being around people. Ever since, like, you know, even before the pandemic, I was still iffy when it comes to being around people. Like, my expression would be like, ugh, I have to be around all these snot-nosed people all day and stuff like that. Like, I feel like taking a shower. Like, I used to say shit like that. It's negative as fuck, I'm sorry, but that's my truth. I used to actually think like that, and I'd be like, I have to take a shower right now. I've been out all day. Now, of course, when you're at school for 8 hours a day, you have to take a shower when you get home, like literally. However, even nowadays, like, you know, when you're around a bunch of people, let's say, you know, at a cafeteria, there's a whole bunch of people more than normal. You know, it's getting a little bit hot. You start sweating a little bit under your armpits and stuff. When you get back to your house, I feel as though you should take a shower. It could be like, you know, it could even be a wipe off, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of y'all may not know what that is. It's mainly washing under the most important parts, the ones that get stinky, you know, the armpits and then the down there, and maybe even your face too. But that's my opinion on it. That's how I think. Because the idea of being outside somewhere and then getting in your bed, putting on clean clothes, not only that, putting on clean clothes or putting on clothes you've been outside on all day, and then getting in your bed, which is actually clean too, by the way. Your bed's clean, all that, but you are not clean. And you have caked sweat on you, even if it's a little bit, it dried underneath your armpits. It's like, and you have it's like a film of sweat or dirtiness on your face from outside, being around all those different people. It's like, I just feel like you should take a shower once you get back in, like, you know. But anyways, you're gonna do what you want to do. So like, that's the thing, is you're gonna do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying this as my like opinion of it, because once you get back in, you are not gonna take a shower immediately unless you feel like you want to, you know. That's just you, and I understand. But anyway, going on unpopular opinion number 10. Now, for my very last unpopular opinion, I don't really know if it's gonna be, I feel like it's an underwhelming unpopular opinion, and it's kind of relating to like another opinion I think I had in another video. Probably a video I didn't send out, but I think that self-defense should be mandatory in school. And I'm aware that there's pros and cons to this, like the increasing of fights in school is one thing to consider. Like, you know, they may be trying their skills out on other kids. You get too mad, you start trying to fucking kick somebody's heads off. Yes, I'm aware of that. However, why I think it is necessary is that, you know, outside of school and stuff like that, you know, life is going to teach you. It sucks because school, it really does teach you about, like, you know, a lot of times where like history, from all the way back when to now, stuff that's recorded and whatnot. I feel like it should focus more on life now than stuff that was made years ago too. That should be another unpopular opinion. Like, there should be more life lessons taught in school than lessons like certain math equations and shit and certain like books from English. I think there should be more life lessons and stuff like that taught in school. Self-defense, some more mental health classes and shit like that. I think those classes should be as important as some of these other classes in school. Like for PE and stuff like that, you can have both PE and the self-defense classes, or make PE a self-defense class or something like that. I just think it's really important to know how to fight innocence. I don't know, like, of course, like out in the street or out in real life, you're gonna have to learn. But I feel like it'll be better to learn or know what basic is. Like, if you don't want to fight, you want to just restrain somebody, you can learn how to, in a way, to do it safely. Goddamn it, if you just don't like fighting or don't want to fight, like I don't know. I just feel like that should be a thing. Yeah. Anyways, that was all for the video. Thank you all for watching. And for anybody new, I'm A-List Shipping Hog. I literally do random videos, some of which I just, off the top of my dome, I literally just made this out of nowhere just from watching another YouTuber. And hers had nothing to do with unpopular opinions. It was literally on college roommate horror stories and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, let me make my unpopular opinion video right now. Like, I just thought. But anyways, thank you for coming, and thank all of my other subscribers for watching. Thank you all, and may peace be with you for an eternity.